one interesting thing I sort of came to know about you was that you landed yourself a job, an engineering job in Patni Computers.
Yeah, oh,
And
how do you know that?
हमारे आदमी चारों तरफ हैं.
You're also a spy, huh?
You bet. But there's also like you got the job and then I believe Prison Break and Golmaal had something to do with it. Please tell us that story. It was damn cool.
Third year of my engineering college, I think year 2008, the campus interview was going on, and I'm a huge fan, huge fan of this classic movie called Golmaal, Amol Palekar Saab's.
Yeah.
And I had the small dream I wanted to live, which was to give an interview.
Okay.
You know,
That was your dream.
dream as in I just wanted to live this
Scenario.
scenario.
Okay.
And to just wear a tie, wear formal clothes, slide down my resume and just give this interview. And by the time I had decided, you know, post my education, post my graduation, I want to pursue acting. So I was like, how am I going to live this little dream of mine? So it's like, okay, I want to crack these campus interviews, whether or not I want to do a job, but I want to do this. So for the first couple of companies that had come, I couldn't even pass the aptitude test. And then for Patni Computers, I passed the aptitude test and I was really thrilled. Okay, I'm going to give an interview today. And so yeah, everybody was really anxious outside, you know, and everybody's nervous. But whereas I wasn't nervous at all because I was like, I got nothing to lose.
Right.
So finally my turn came up and I went inside and there were these three faculty members who were sitting in front of me and I gave the resume and I was just living my dream. I was very happy. I had the smile on my face all the time.
Yeah.
And so they asked me some technical questions which I, you know, somehow managed to scrape through.
Okay.
And in the resume there's this personal section where you have to mention father's occupation, mother's occupation, brother's occupation, whatever. So in my father's occupation, I had mentioned that he works in films as an action director. So this guy asked me that, you know, अरे तुम actor बन जाओ ना, why do you want to be an engineer? तुम hero बन जाओ. And he was testing me in that sense. So that was the time when I was watching this series called Prison Break.
Right.
And in that, I don't know which episode, which season, but the protagonist is basically an engineer so he gives an interview. He's giving an interview, and the interviewer asks him that, you know, why do you want to be an engineer?
Yeah.
And he gives like a very kick-ass kind of an answer, saying that you know, I mean, a normal layman can only just walk on the streets and, you know, admire the architecture or the planes or the cars or anything, but an engineer can say, you know, I can make it better. You know, I know.
Very cool.
You know, so something of that sort. And so that was my first script of my life. This was my first audition.
Right.
And he asked me this question, why do you want to be an engineer? And I just narrated those lines in that intensity. And I remember out of the three, there was this one guy who was just on his paper, not interested in this candidate who's calm. And he doesn't seem to be too bright for our company and all of that. So he's just, I don't know, doodling on the paper. And then when I said that line, his head just came up in 48 frames. He's like, who is this guy?
We found a guy.
So, and I was like, yeah. So I stepped out, and to my surprise, I got the job. I was very happy. And so that's why I was very happy because I thought I've cracked my first audition.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I was very happy. Yeah.
So you knew you were on the right track.
I don't know, yeah, kind of. Yeah.
But you grew up in Malad, in a chawl system.
I was born there.
You were born there. You didn't spend any time
we kept
there.
shifting.
Okay.
From Malad, where you were referring to, it was like I was born in a chawl.
Right.
And then we shifted to a better place, and then to a better place, and then to a better place. So yeah, that's been my dad's journey.
Yeah, he was telling me about it, and it's so interesting because chawl is such a uniquely Mumbai housing phenomenon, and as it is, like Mumbai is in terms of housing, it's unique. All my friends make fun that only in Bombay do you say 1 BHK. We don't count our rooms.
You guys are living in nests.
True.
That's what they say.
Cubby holes, pigeon holes.
Kabhi chhat dekha tumne?
True. Anyone who has a friend in Delhi or Bangalore gets a lot of that,
Yeah.
So, but growing up, how was it? Because obviously your dad was like a brilliant action director who's really sort of done some great work, and he's really respected, and he's done brilliant films. How was it growing up for you? Was it the first thing that came to mind that you want to be part of the film industry, or it took you some time to sort of come around to that?
Never consciously. I think subconsciously there was always an actor inside me. But while growing up, it was a very normal childhood because my dad never got films to the dining table.
Right.
We never discussed films. Me and Sunny, both my brother, we never had the enthusiasm of visiting a film set or going to a screening or attending any party or nothing of that sort.
Yeah.
You know, we were never even enthusiastic of meeting actors. You know, my friends at school used to ask me, "Tu is hero se mila hai kya? Tu us hero se mila hai kya?" And I was like, "No, I haven't met them," and they used to be very disappointed.
Okay.
But I don't know, for some reason, and I'm glad that's how our upbringing was.
Yeah.
But we were never kind of, those glittery-eyed that about Bollywood.
Right.
So while growing up, I had my basic 3-4 interests, which were studying, first of all, because you want peace and shanti at home while growing up.
True.
And then cricket, I was very fond of.
Okay.
Watching movies, I was very fond of. And I was very fond of being on stage. Any kind of, society or school or college or anything. I just wanted to be on stage. And I used to love performing. So I think subconsciously it was always there.
Yeah.
But that's how my kind of upbringing was. Very normal. And one thing I've learned from my dad is to just give 100% to your present.
True.
Never worry about the future. Never take any step thinking about the future.
Yeah.
Of course, a basic planning is required in life, but don't get scared of it. Don't be don't be too calculative or too, it'll get sorted. If you're really honest and sincere to your present, your future will in fact be better than what you want it to be.
Yeah.
That's what I've believed in. That's my motto for life. So that's how it was.
Your dad, Mr. Vicky Kaushal, he was telling me that normally you guys would never want to go on the sets of movies, but you and your brother requested to be taken on the sets of Ashoka when he was shooting, and Fizza. So why the exception to these films?
Fizza was my first time.
Right.
I remember, of course, Kaho Na Pyare had come out, and like millions of others in the country. I was a huge fan of Vicky Kaushal. And when I came to know that my dad is working with him, I just wanted to witness this phenomena in flesh and blood, in real. And I remember his assistant really took my case. His assistant, my dad's assistant, he told me, "Yaar, Ritik to unhi bachchon se milta hai jinko Ek Pal Ka Jeena pe dance aata hai."
Really?
And I was like, okay, so for 3 days non-stop I'm practicing Ek Pal Ka Jeena in my house. And then when I go on set in Film City, he was the sweetest person ever. He gave me all the time in the world to click pictures along with my brother. And but that was also because it was the first time on a film set, that's the first time I came to know that a movie of 3 hours is never made in 3 hours. For 4 hours they were doing one thing again and again and again and again. I got thoroughly bored. I got really bored, but it was really special to meet him. And the second time was during Ashoka, because that's the time I came to know that my dad is performing. My dad is an actor on set today.
Right.
He's the villain on set today, and he's going to be acting with Shah Rukh. So this time I had gone to see my dad as an actor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your dad directed you in Zuban,
Zuban
a particular
for a sequence,
scene.
yes.
Like, how was that? Like, he told me that he was very anxious that, like, you should not have any trouble with it, and he said you were very good. Were you nervous that he was, around and, he's so good? So sometimes
I was very excited. Because it's my dream to
Right.
really work with him on the same set.
Yeah.
And so Moses, my director
The
for
director.
Zuban, he really made both our dreams come true, my dad's and mine. It was one sequence, an important sequence in the film, and it was a sequence that had to be shot in a night.
Right.
And it was really a short span of time for us. So we were rehearsing before we actually started shooting, and I'm observing all the stuntmen doing it, all of that. So there was this one particular sequence where in the scene, I had to roll down and fall off the stairs. It was an action sequence in an empty swimming pool.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody like beats me up with a hockey and I have to fall down. So when the stuntman was doing it, he did it and this and that. So I'm watching and okay, ready, okay, ready. And then, so I was wearing like a Pathani suit, and I thought that, when my turn comes up, I'm actually going to be padded and,
Right.
there's going to be safety and this and that. So when my turn came up, so I was like, okay, ready, okay, there's going to be pads coming up, this and that. And my dad's like, Girja. And I'm like, hey? So he said, you saw him, right? I was like, yeah. So he's like, so do it. So I'm like, that's where it struck me that it's not my father on set, it's an action director on set.
Yes.
And from that moment on, we were just this combination of action director and actor working towards it. And by 6 a.m. we were done, and I remember that hug that he gave me in the morning once we were done. And he told me that, I was excited to work with my son, but I'm leaving more excited knowing that I worked with a good actor, and that was a great validation for me.
Whenever like you are stuck or there is a situation or a disappointment, who do you turn to for advice?
My parents.
Your parents.
For advice and for strength.
Okay.
My parents. I mean, if anywhere I'm stuck, it's always my father whom I turn to. If it's if having a second opinion on a script, or to any situation, it's always my father. And my mom is like my source of strength. You know, she really is. If there's any day, any moment where I'm like little disheartened, or just one smile from her, one hug from her, one talk with her, it just makes me a new person. You know, it just makes me so motivated. And yeah, they're just my. So your family is always your, go-to people.
I believe your mom is very upset because despite the both of you becoming actors, you and your brother, like there's things thrown around on the floor and she has to be after you to kind of like pick up your stuff and put them in the correct place.
Yeah, she is. She's always like, Vicky, your room is so dirty, there's that, do something and all that. So yeah, that's always there.
That's not changed.
That's not changed. We're not growing up in that sense.
Would you give advice to your brother? Since he's, also joined the movies now.
To be honest, it's not advice. We keep sharing our experiences.
Okay.
I mean, there's hardly any age gap between us.
Right.
But we do share experiences. You know, if he's on set, I'm on set, and we just keep discussing. If there's an audition we both need to do, so we we shoot each other's auditions and we jam. You know, it's more like jamming. Yeah.
That's always helpful.
It's always helpful.
Yeah.
It's always helpful because see, acting is a practicing art. You know, you can't just read books and watch movies and say I've learned how to be an actor.
True.
You have to really work on it. You have to practice it. And if you have like somebody who understands the craft in a way, so it's always helpful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, one of the interesting things that I always hear about you is that you're like really this honest to God, very sincere kind of an actor and a person. Do you ever feel taken for granted because of that, or is that your strength? And is there anything that you'd like to change about yourself?
No, I think. See, I've never felt that I've been taken for granted. I've only received love. I've only received the people have been really sweet to me, and it's a really overwhelming experience. And it's nice to just share love. You know,
True.
I feel when you're working on a film set, it's important to be good at your work, but it's also important to be a good, compassionate, and understanding human being.
True.
Because see, when you're an actor, it's a luxury, it's a privilege to be an actor. You know, there's a team of 200 or 300 people working, day and night, so that you as an actor get those 10 seconds of in front of the camera, that moment that you want, so that you can emote with complete honesty. I mean, people come at like 4 in the morning, they're setting up the lights, there's spot boys working for you, there are lightmen working for you, and everyone, only so that when there's action, when the director says action and the actor needs to perform, there's correct light on his face, he's in the right mood, there's no disturbance and this and that. It's a privilege,
Yeah.
and the least you can do is just make sure that people on the set are happy. And they're just having, I mean, they're at least not troubled because of you.
True.
mean, you're not giving them a hard time because already they're really working very, very hard. So you just need to just talk to them and just understand where they're coming from and just have a good time, just develop a personal relationship. That's the least you can do, and that's what you try doing, that's what I try doing, and I like doing that. It's not for any reason, but it's just, it becomes like a family, it becomes a healthier atmosphere to work. So I just try doing, and I'm really grateful with the way people have accepted me. So yeah, I don't know what to say more, but just yeah.
Anything you'd like to change about yourself?
Anything I would like to change about myself, I would like to make myself more punctual. I would like to keep my room more cleaner for the sake of my mom's happiness, and nothing I want to change. I don't know right now, but I just want to be better than what I was yesterday. Always.
Do you still travel in auto rickshaws?
I do.
Do they charge you more? Richa Chadda told me that
charge you more?
Yeah, like the vegetable walas, it started charging up because this is madam aap to bahut famous ho gaya, aap to heroine ho. So do they charge you more?
No, they don't charge me more because I abhi tak main utna famous nahi hua jitna Richa hai. But I do travel in rickshaws, I do travel in trains. Yeah, I do.
What is your first fan moment when somebody came up to you and asked you for an autograph, or nowadays it's more selfie than autographs? So
First fan moment. Actually, it happened at Cannes Film Festival when we'd gone with Masan.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time I felt, because the film got screened, and obviously it's like, we are in France. What do you expect? Like, who's gonna come up to you, you know? But there was this Englishman
Mm-hmm.
who came up to me, who
Okay.
had seen the film, and we were having a dinner somewhere, and he came up to me and he started discussing the film at length, and he started crying.
Oh my God.
And he held my hand, and he's like, "You're just very special," and this and that. And he clicked a picture and whatever. So that was the first time I really felt that, like speaking to an unknown person, because he had seen my work and he was talking to the actor me. So yeah, that was the first time. But here I really can't recollect. But yeah, there've been moments post Masar.
You've done a bunch of interesting and unconventional movies, and then you did a video about stalking, women, which as
With AIP.
shown in a that's
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
as shown in our movie songs. Tell me a little bit about that.
Tanmay came to my house and he's like, "Hey boss, this is something that we want to do. This is the plan." And I'm like, "Tu marwayega mujhe." But then he gave me like a case story, and he said, there's this thing that happened in Australia where somebody was accused of harassing a woman, and he just said that, I've watched these songs and it's completely fair in that, I mean, in those songs that nobody is getting arrested or anything, so I didn't think it's wrong. And he's told me something that, some of the songs, not all the songs,
Sure.
but some of the songs, some of the situations that we create where a gang of boys are like, running behind girls and outside college and like singing and teasing and whatever, in the garb of being romantic or whatever, comical. But if in reality that happens, you actually have like, you can be registered under like 5 criminal cases. You're like, that it's not legal.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's actually a point, and we just thought, we're making kind of a point in a comical way, and it's a good way of putting it out there.
Yeah.
It's a good thought, and I was like, why not? Chalo, let's have some fun.